This is part two of social media and the community manager. In part one, we took a look at the day-to-day activities in the role of a community manager. In part two, I'm going to give you a little preview into my toolbox as a community manager. Now, these are just some of the tools that I'm liking to use right now. The first tool is Klout. Klout is used to measure the influence of my community online. It measures Facebook and Twitter. If you go to klout.com, you can enter a username and up will pop their score. This is the normal stuff you see on Twitter right here in the top. With Klout, you can see the Klout score, their reach, amplification, network, their accomplishments on Twitter and Facebook, their Klout classifications, which gives you more in-depth into their personality type, who they're influenced by, and I can't scroll down any further with the tool that I'm using, but it also shows you who they influence, and it gives you some topic tags, some things that they like to tweet very often. So for instance, the things that I like to tweet are social media, Orange County, community, and managers. And that gives somebody a better perspective when they want to introduce themselves to me and get to know me a little bit better. The other thing that's really important as a community manager is this score right here. If you take a sample data from your community and you input 20, 50, 500 names and come up with their scores, you can get an average. And that will help you determine who your high influencers are if they're above that average that you have set for your community. You reach out to those people when you have a promotion or when you have some news that you want to get out about the company or new features or anything really. But those are your power users and your brand ambassadors. And this doesn't hold true all of the time, but for most of the time it does. For a more in-depth look at this, we had a collaborative project with a few community managers, which I will post with this later. Back to some other tools that I like using. Buffer app is a tool that I found online through Evan Hamilton. And if it wasn't for Twitter, I would have never met Evan and never would have found out about this Buffer app tool, which I love. So here's a quick tutorial about why I like using Buffer app. Now, once you're signed in, this is what your dashboard looks like. This is where your scheduled tweets will go. But the first thing you want to do is go to Goodies and install this Chrome extension right here, or if you have Safari, you can install this one. This will put this little icon here in the corner, which is the power behind the Buffer app. The second thing you want to do is go to your dashboard and add your Twitter account. If you have multiple Twitter accounts, you can upgrade for just a few dollars more and use multiple Twitter accounts, which I also have as well in addition to this one. But this is my work one. So the next thing you want to do is go to your settings and set up 3 different times to send tweets. Now once you've done that, you're pretty much ready to go. You can add more things later like your bit.ly details and add team members and lots of other features. But that's pretty much the gist of it for now. So let me take you through my daily routine at work. When I get to work, one of the first things I do is I have to check all the Google alerts that have come in through work. So I can see here that here's some Symbaloo EDU Google alerts that came in. So this looks like somebody blogged about us. So that looks worthy of a tweet, and we do this to support our users. So this helps generate a tweet here, and I can change it to make it more customized. And what we like to do is add a hashtag saying Symbaloo love for our users that love Symbaloo. And then I just add it to the buffer. Now the reason why that's important is because what used to be a daily 20-minute task now is a 20-minute task per week. That little video was shot with a tool called Screener, and then it was published to YouTube, and then it was embedded on my WordPress blog, and then I used TweetDeck to tweet about it, and then I used MailChimp to blast it out to all my email subscribers. I posted it on Facebook, retweeted it on Twitter, and that was all involving Google Alerts. The point about my toolbox is not the tools, because the tools are going to change. The point that I'm trying to make is that we need to be lifelong learners and stay ahead of the curve, and this does affect the business world, and it'll be interesting to see how all of these tools do affect the business world in the future. Thanks for following along on my social media and the community manager presentation.